Acacia saligna, an invasive plant species, is threatening biodiversity in southern Africa, most severely in the fynbos biome. Imported and introduced in South Africa from Australia in 1833 for its sand-binding ability along roadsides, it was easy for the species to establish and spread. Once its impacts on native plant species were recognized, the invasion had already progressed to drastic measures. The plant became naturalized and then invasive, spreading to areas outside of its introduced range and causing biodiversity loss, incurring major socio-economic costs associated with ecosystem services. In terms of its effects on biodiversity, the species has been shown to grow faster and taller than many native plants, leading to out-competition, especially in highly sensitive fynbos types and their associated riparian zones. Acacia saligna is also considered a transformer that modifies soil structure and composition and fixes nitrogen better than native plants. In particular, Acacia saligna modifies the nitrogen cycle through the production of higher amounts of leaf litter than native species. In the species-rich fynbos vegetation of the Cape Floristic region, tall, dense, and persistent stands result in more biomass in the system, altering the fire regime and placing less fire-resistant native species at risk. Not to mention a plethora of fauna that inhabit the fynbos biome. In addition to this, the species is able to respond well after fires due to the presence of a large seed bank, which has been recorded in South Africa as up to 46,000 seeds per meter squared. Furthermore, the inflorescences of Acacia saligna have been shown to be very attractive to honeybees, leading to further out-competition with native species. This out-competition has led to native species decline in very sensitive fynbos types. Observations of Acacia saligna in South Africa are most frequent in the riparian zones, which are the borders of various water bodies. Plants in these zones provide home to a number of odonata, or dragonflies and damselflies, whose populations have been seen to decline once their habitats are shaded out by this invasive species. Therefore, the encroachment of Acacia saligna in the fynbos ecosystem affect both the richness and composition of invertebrate communities. Ultimately, this invasion needs to be managed, but the clearing costs of Acacia saligna in the fynbos biome incurred through the Working for Water program between 1995 and 2008 were valued at about $1 million per year. Various clearing methods have been used to eradicate the species worldwide, but the method that has seen the most success is to cut the plants below its coppicing point, inhibiting its growth, and then covering the stumps with a chemical agent to reduce resprouting. Once this is done, burning can be used to remove the seed bank. Thereafter, native plant species can be replanted and run concurrently with a monitoring program to assess the status of the eradication. Excuse the pun, but this might all seem clear-cut. However, the management of this species is incredibly difficult due to its rate of spread, the resistance of eradication methods, and most importantly, the lack of funding and manpower that is needed to effectively remove it. Communities around these areas can assist with management if authorized by legislative bodies in the Western Cape. These initiatives will also provide a source of income and firewood for these communities, creating positive socio-economic opportunity. Stakeholders in this system could include local municipality and communities, national and regional conservation bodies such as sandparks or Cape Nature, as well as the invasive species management bodies such as the Working for Water program. In order to ensure efficient and cost-effective results, these stakeholders should work with local communities to stimulate interest and participation in this project. It is possible that although complete eradication may not be feasible in this country, the reduction of the impacts of Acacia saligna invasion is possible if sufficient funding and cooperation is involved in eradication and monitoring projects. Without it, biodiversity of many shapes and forms could suffer the wrath of a successful invader.